So I hope you have your programs, because in the back of your programs, there's a personal action plan. Tim pointed out in your gift bags that there is a pen. That was intentional. A lot of what we're doing now is intentional. So let's get ready for this. But before that, I think I need to set up a problem a little bit and talk a little bit more about why we thought this was important. As we think about, as I mentioned, we're rebranding. Rebranding is more than just a name. It's an emotional connection. And people talking about branding all the time with social media, with visibility, with postings and all that kind of stuff. Brand is becoming more and more important. So we're going to dig into that today a little bit about what it means to be a brand, because you are all brands, by the way, and what we do to make sure that brand works for you and works for your career aspirations. Everything here is meant to be intentional because we want you to be intentional. And again, this is your new year. So during the new year here in Kona, we want you to really take advantage of this portion of it. So yes, that was a long time ago. But we did this for a reason. Yes, we rebranded from kids to professionals, and even today we played a tournament last week, and yes, we came out on top. But boy, it was a little hot in Orlando. But the woman that I'm pictured with over here was my mentor. She's still with us, and she was the consummate professional. She is why I got into the industry, why I started teaching tennis and wanted to become a professional. The non-negotiable with her was you have to be a USPTA member. Non-negotiable. If you're going to be in this sport, you commit to the industry and it will commit to you. So you must become a USPTA member. Is John Ingram here? John, you here this morning? Did you get up? There he is. John was my tester. Thank you, John. P1 out of the gate, by the way. Thank you, John. But what we learned here is that there is a profession. Actually, one of the funniest things about Noni is not only did I admire her and look up to her, and she was a coach and then a mentor, but she has a house in Hawaii. She has a house in Snowmass. She lives in downtown Dallas. She travels all the time. So it's a pretty good lifestyle. So that's what I was also looking at. Like, I think this could be something we could do. That could be a lot of fun. But since day one, understanding where the USPTA was and is in my heart and my background, just like yours, is the industry is completely different, obviously, than when most of us joined originally. And we have to advocate for this industry. When I started this role, I said there's really three things we have to do. We have to raise the profile of what it means to be a rackets professional. We have to make this industry more desirable, the job and the careers much more premium and prestigious, so people want to be part of it. We have to do a better job of providing you with the professional education you need to put you in the position to be successful and to win. And we have to recruit. We have to be in recruiting mode. We have to bring more people into this industry by doing number one and number two. So we're all advocates for this industry. Do you have your elevator pitch when you're trying to hire somebody? Do you know what to say? Hey, here's why you should be a rackets professional. Or is it, oh no, here we pay you $30 an hour and work as much as you can? We have to, the more we professionalize, the more we make this a desirable industry. And our other industries around us do that. So this is an opportunity really for us to really professionalize a little bit bigger. So the big idea here is, why does this matter to the industry? Why does it matter about branding and rebranding? Why does it matter to you? So in spending the last 18, 20 months traveling, going to division conferences, speaking to people, being in panels, what you learn is there's three challenges we face in this industry. We are unregulated. As many other industries that are in the professional certification world, we are completely unregulated. There is no mandate that you must be certified. That is a crying shame. I mean, there's nothing else half of our industry has no credentials, and they consider themselves the same as you. I would take offense to that. I do take offense to that. You talk to people, I don't need to be certified. I've been coaching for 100 years in this. I don't need it. I'm a good player. I've already got a full book of business. But that doesn't support our industry, doesn't support people coming into our industry because there's no regulation. So that's a challenge that we have to overcome. We also are underrepresented when it comes to our industry. We have to make sure that GMs and managers and hiring managers understand the value of what being certified is, understand the time that we've put in, the educational hours and the credits and the commitment we've made to this industry. If we don't represent ourselves well, nobody is going to. We have to be our own advocates. We have to push that envelope up. Where's Michael Mahoney? Where are you? I'm going to put you on the spot. Where is Scott McCullough? Here are two leaders of big organizations that have multiple facilities. They require certification. They require this. So I don't want to hear that that's not possible. But it's up to us to make sure that is a mandate, that we represent ourselves well enough, that we represent ourselves well to the people that matter and to the people coming that we're hiring. I know people need jobs. There's thousands of jobs open right now in our industry. Thousands. And people are just grabbing you. I need somebody to fill in this. I need somebody to fill in this. That is not the way we need to do that. They have to have a plan and a path so that their career can progress, so that we keep them and make them quality, higher quality people, give a better experience. And a better experience means our consumers are going to come back and come back and come back. So unregulated, underrepresented, and it's a challenge to show the skills that we develop as rackets professionals and transfer those skills into other areas. We've always struggled with that. Imagine, look at this list of skills, please, and I bet every one of you can check all of these off. Do you drive commission sales? Yes. If you teach lessons, you drive commission sales. Do you know customer service management? Well, yes. If you actually answer a phone call or an email or you have people come back to your lessons, that means you know customer service. How about hiring and firing people? That's human resources management. Event planning, budgeting, retail facility, managing capital, all this stuff. If you took the word tennis off of this or rackets off of this, you are a CEO, right? But if you put the word tennis on, it's like, oh, it's just tennis. You're managing multi-million-dollar businesses. You're managing multi-million-dollar facilities, member engagement, customer service, driving revenue, profitability. We have to use these skills and transfer them so that we can take that next step forward, so we could potentially buy a business. My quick story about this is, so I started teaching right out of college. Did that for about a year, but one of my goals was really to work for Wilson Sporting Goods. So when I went to my interview, I had to convince Rick Kirpsack, I don't know if he's still here, but he was here yesterday. I had to convince him that I could take my skills from the court, where I taught people, I engaged, I had customer service, I had follow-up. How would that transfer into a sales role? I mean, that was on the fly. I didn't know any of this, and I didn't know, but that was a challenge at the time. And I know he asked me the question, well, how are you going to sell anything? You're on the tennis court. Where's that relationship? But if I'd had this list, that'd be easy. Oh yeah, I do that. I have customer service. I have this. But this is, again, it goes back to packaging. This is a packaging thing that we all have to think and give ourselves a little more credit in this industry. You have these skills. These skills are built in you. Sometimes it's out of necessity. Sometimes you got promoted and, oh, by the way, I need a budget by next Tuesday. You get promoted and, oh, by the way, you have 16 people that now report to you. And you have 2 that have issues that want to talk to you. We learn this, we drink through the fire hose in this industry. So there aren't really proper skills to learn this. Well, that's on us. We need to help you do that a little bit better. But why this really matters to the industry is because as our industry changes, you've got to change with it and make sure these skills are aligned. Make sure you take the unregulation, the underrepresentation, and those transferable skills and use them to your advantage. So that's, as we go through our new year here, as we get into this branding, we want to really talk about how do we take those challenges and create them into opportunities. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. It really, truly, our association is Tennis Plus. I have looked you all up, by the way, not to be creepy, but I looked every one of you up. I've checked out your LinkedIn profiles, by the way, and I have some comments on that later. But with over 70 or 80% of facilities having more than one racket sport, our big reason why here is, have we really embraced that? Or are we doing it out of need and necessity? And that's, I think, the number one thing we have to come to grips with is, have we been proactive with our planning for new racket sports, or are we doing it because members are streaming at us and, okay, I'm going to put lines down now and we'll eventually get to building our own separate pickleball courts. We have to really get ahead of this. You also have this whole bigger idea that it's racket sports for the health of it, right? We're playing in this game of the world's healthiest sports. Are we fully taking advantage of that and really leaning into that from from why you would get into racket sports? People live longer, they're more social, they're healthier, they're happier. So that's another thing to really consider. But as we raise our level of professionalism, we will see higher compensation. As we see higher compensation, we will see a more desirable industry. And as we see a more desirable industry, we will raise that profile of who we are, and we will bring new people into our industry. But you have to go through this process to get from A to Z. So that's what we're going to get into very, very quickly. So you should be sitting there asking yourselves, all right, you've been talking for a while. What's really in it for me? I hope you are. Because that is truly what we care about. So if you're sitting in your chair going, all right, you know what, I have the best job I've ever had. I'm good. Well, you're going to have to hire somebody sometime soon. Do you have the best place to work? Do you have the best benefits? Raise your hand if you've actually raised money or looked for money to build a capital project. You've had to dig in and go sell to somebody. You've had to present yourself and your skills to say, yeah, I want to build 7 new courts, or I want to build a dome, or I want to build a new facility. How about if you have a boss, you've got to go ask for more money for your staff? Are you ready to present that? Do you have a professional presentation? Do you know what to do, what to ask? What if you're looking for a new job? Are you presenting yourself right? Have you done the follow-up? Do you know how to properly have an interview? PTM students, you guys ready to have your first interview and your first full-time job? That's what we're going to dig into a little bit here. So this is really what's in it for you, is all of these skills kind of come together as we lay out your personal action plan. Okay. As I said earlier, you are already a brand. Whether you chose it or not, you are a brand. And you're a brand because you're in the public eye. You're in front of people. They look at you, they listen to you, they respect you or not. They show up on time or not. So you've got to decide what brand you want to be. But right now, racket sports doesn't really exist as an industry in the internet world. 70% of our industry does not have a digital profile. So if you're looking for a job, you're looking to hire somebody, you're looking to raise money, any of those things, the first thing people do today is look at LinkedIn. Full stop. That is your living, breathing profile. The LinkedIn profile I have on the right is one of our industry people in this room. Come on, we can do better than this. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, get one today, please. If you haven't put a photo on it, a professional headshot, do that today, please. We actually have headshots available for you while you're here. Have a background photo, have a mission statement, have a purpose. I've also looked at all your LinkedIn profiles, and I know who has them or doesn't. And I've given you my own rating. We'll talk. If you have a question, I'll be happy to share it with you. But this is what our industry is. If we don't have representation, then our industry doesn't exist. And if our industry doesn't exist here, it doesn't exist anywhere. So we can't build that credibility and can't raise the standards if we don't exist where the world is right now. And this is where the world is right now. When you think of brands, Apple, innovation, break the rules, right? It's a desirable. It emits an emotion. Disney, happiest place on earth. People think Disney, they smile. That's a brand, that you smile. Enron, ooh, boo, corruption, bad, fraud. That's a brand too. So brands have this option to be negative, neutral, or positive. What is the Racquet Sports Professionals Association? What does that brand emit? Passion, caring, something bigger than yourself. That's what we want to be to the industry. And we want this to be an industry that people want to be part of. This is what Hollywood thinks of us, by the way. I mean, when you look at the reputation we have, unfortunately, this is what we're fighting against in some regards. So it's up to us to professionalize, to make ourselves a brand that people want to be part of. I had to break this up a little bit. So how do you separate yourself? Do you have a story to tell? Do you know your story? Do you repeat your story? Why are you here? What's your journey in racket sports? Why did you decide to do it? What are your values about? People want to know your values. Are you about discipline, or are you about fun? Are you about fitness? Are you about high competitiveness and competition? Do you have a system and a strategy? Do you interview every player you have or every new customer you have before you start and go, all right, what are your goals? What do you want to do? How do you want to achieve this? Okay, we're going to lay this out over a 10-week program and blah, blah, blah. Or do you just start going, okay, what do you want to work on today? That's in that whole branding thing. Your brand is part of who you are. What is your expertise? Are you a player? Are you a coach? Are you a commentator? Are you an influencer? What's your visual identity look like? Have you thought about that consciously? Are you intentional about your identity? Are you intentional about how you present yourself? Or do you wake up every morning and go grab it on the way, put your hat on, and I'm out the door? To professionalize our industry, we have to be intentional and think about things like this. When you create an online social presence, you have to have a strategy. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. Because your brand engages with clients, showcases your benefits, showcases the you and the why. Start writing. Start showcasing what differentiates you. Today we're going to go through a process where we talk about what is your special sauce? What's your secret? Why are you different and special? Because you are, or you wouldn't be here. But being a brand, your pro tip is you have to be consistent, but more importantly, you have to be authentic. And authenticity is really what wins in today's battle. Offline, collaborate. Every vendor here that was here supporting us can also help support you if you show them love, by the way. That's how that relationship works. Connect with brands, connect with sponsors, volunteer. Volunteering is our nature. That is in our gut as an industry, is volunteering. We grow up volunteering. We grow up with that ethos. That public speaking yesterday was so impressive. Mark, thank you for that idea. I love, phenomenal. We're going to do more and more of that. Hopefully we'll have we'll do some drama ahead of time, and we'll have more, and we'll have preliminaries at divisions, and we'll blow this out. But speaking in public, speaking to a group like this, it's hard. I'm sweating, man. Coaching, mentorship, that's on you as well. Do those things. That will all help enhance your brand. The more time you invest in yourself, the more it's going to pay off for you down the road. And I don't think we have spent the time investing in ourselves. Here in Kona is the time to do it. But this is the formula. Consistency, clarity, and credibility. Part of your credibility, shameless plug, is being part of this association. But it's also being your authentic self. And I think that is so, so important. But again, you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be sitting in these seats if you already weren't successful, credible. But let's really look and analyze to make sure that we're doing this. So some mistakes we make is that inconsistency. When you post on LinkedIn, are you posting personal pictures of dogs and cats? Or are you posting a clinic you did working on some great high-performance training? Ignoring opportunities to promote yourself in a positive way. I think we miss a lot of that. Promoting ourselves, not in an arrogant way, but in a skill-based, a credible and professional way. And I think the biggest one, tennis has been so slow to change. We get so locked into what we do. We get so busy repeating, we don't get busy learning and growing. We get repeating. Okay, I got 8 hours today. I got 7 hours today. Okay, I'm on the court. I'm off the court. That repetition is holding us back. So here we are, Kona, brand new year, brand new you. This is just one example of a profile, but I actually have higher aspirations because that's a real profile. Having a presence is what people see, and this is their first, in many cases, if they've never met you, this is their first impression of you. If I reach across the aisle, if I meet Scott at the table tonight, I'm going to go, what's the first? I'm going to go back, I'm going to go check him out. Hey, where's he from? What's he done? Where's he work? What does he stand for? What's his secret sauce? That's what people are doing these days. So take advantage of that. We're actually providing you with a social media toolkit to help you learn, avoid some of these mistakes. And it's in the RSPA app. There's some do's and don'ts. And by the way, download the app. I know this is another, Tim mentioned it. Please download the app because everything about the conference, all your presentations are going to be there. But there's a social media toolkit in your app. This is so important for our industry to be professional and to grow. Okay, enough of the setup. Get out your programs, please. Here's some rules. We do not expect you to finish all this right now, but we're going to go through each question. There's 13 questions. I want to explain what the question is, why we're doing it, and some examples of what this would be like. A couple of them I'm going to ask you to discuss together because I think it's important to share. I ask you to just consider thinking for the next 4 days about this process and about this program. I invite you to consider this as a change in how you are and how you behave. I invite you to share this with your peers and your friends. And by Thursday, when we come back together in this room with my idol, can you guys believe Matt Svelander's coming? I mean, jeez, I'm so excited. But he's going to be here, and the last session we're going to do is we're going to kind of come back together, and we're not asking you to share, but hopefully you've made some progress on your personal action plan. I'm going to talk to you. I want to talk to you while we're here this week and hear from you some of your discovery and some of the things you're thinking about. So let's plan on doing that. Take the week, take the next few days, work on this, share this with some friends, share this with some colleagues, and then let's chat about it again on Thursday. So the first thing we got to do is think about my own personal rebrand. It has come in many shapes and forms. Shapes and forms. That was my first, on the left, it was my first day at Wilson. And then you come to find out, oh, you have to do promotional stuff too. Here, put this costume on. So I did. But then I had an opportunity to go work in the corporate office at Wilson. So here I've transferred now. I started on the court, started teaching. Then I got an opportunity to go sell, to be in the sales field, commission sales, eat what you kill, customer service, time management. Then I had an opportunity to go to Chicago, to the home office, and learn about marketing. Well, how much do I know about marketing? Well, I can transfer my skills from one to the other. But I also took a $40,000 pay cut. Sometimes you have to take a step backwards or sideways to go forward. My wife thought I was nuts. But we knew that was part of the bigger plan. To grow, to learn, to do new things in an industry. And the funny thing is, and Tim was part of that journey too, so was Paul Zalatoris, wherever he is that as I got into become a junior marketing person, my skills and experience I learned both on court and in the sales world helped me there as well. Then we had a chance to move to Europe and work with Wilson in Germany for 4 years. Then I had a chance, because of those skills, to learn more about product development and sourcing and pricing and logistics and supply chain, which led me back to Chicago to give me an opportunity to be the general manager of Wilson. But you don't do that without having the introspection to say sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards. So your first thing we're going to do is we're going to write your own headline. So a headline is a statement, and I went through this about 15, 20 years ago with a group that was doing some consulting. So write your own headline. What is your headline in 1 to 2 years? The example we have here is Pat Smith. It's the most generic name we could come up with. Pat Smith becomes director of Racquet Sports. So in 1 to 2 years, Pat's headline is going to be this. And so everything you do, consciously and unconsciously, is going to be leading to how does Pat Smith become a director of rackets. Then the next 5 years later, Pat Smith achieves 95% member satisfaction. And in 10 years, Pat Smith owns their own racket club. So write your headline. We're not going to dig in super deep right now, but your first step is to really write what are your big nuggets? What's your North Star? Do you know what that is? Raise your hand if you have a North Star. Awesome. Awesome. If you don't, and you saw those hands go up, go ask. Ask him for help. The second thing is, this is where we get a little deeper. How would others, so the next couple are really about a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And if you haven't done a personal one of these, not easy sometimes. But dig in really deep here. What would others say about you? How would they comment? If you walked into the room, they'd say, oh my God, I love Fernando. He's the greatest guy I've ever met. He's so genuine, so caring, so passionate about our industry. And that's actually true, Fernando. What would others say about you? Take a minute. If you're with peers, ask them. You got 1 minute. Talk in your table. What would others say about you if you're comfortable? I love it. I love it. Let's come back. There we go. All right. Keep talking about that later, but get this process started. You're going to feel great about this afterwards, aren't you? This is what people say about you. They love you guys. All right. But the next one, a little harder. What would your critics say? Yeah, we have them. We all have them. What would your critics say? This is more I'm not going to make you talk about this one. But be honest with yourself. Take a look in the mirror. Take a look at yourself. Write things down. What would your critics say about you? You're never going to please everybody. 51% of any consensus is a landslide, by the way. But you have critics. We all have critics. We are also our own self-critics in a lot of ways. So, what would your critics say? Are you impatient? Are you judgmental? You procrastinate? Poor listening skills? This is a fun one. And if you're sitting with peers and friends, we're going to take a minute on this one. What is your secret sauce? What is so special about you that you are a magnet? Your energy exudes and people want to be around you and part of you. So talk about this one for a second. Whether you ask a friend to tell you about you or you share, but talk about what's your secret sauce. Is it the personal connections? Is it your highly attuned listening skills? Is it you put other first? Or you have a purpose? So let's talk about that. Go. You got 2 minutes on this one. Secret sauce. The good news is we could talk about this one for a long time because you all have something very, very special. The special qualities in this room are what you feel the minute you meet somebody. It's really, really incredible. Okay, so now it's getting a little more tactical. Hard skills and soft skills. So what are the hard and soft skills you need, both on and off the court, to achieve that headline you wrote about yourself? Look at yourself in the mirror. Do you need more, on court, teaching, biomechanics, techniques for all levels of play? Do you need to work more on your court management, facility management? Or soft skills. Is it more active listening? Is it effective communication? More teamwork? Creativity? Problem solving? We're not going to do this one here, but hard and soft skills can be learned. But until we recognize and write down where we want to go with this, it's going to be hard to really identify. Man, I struggle with organization when it comes to the weekend, but man, I'm good Monday through Friday. Those are skills you can learn. I really struggle with adapting to change. Let's join the club on that. But what skills do you need to learn? And that's feedback we're going to take is what do you need from us to help you build and be better about that? So hard and soft skills can be learned. This is behavior you can learn. Learn behavior. And the next part, so you've just identified how people see you, what critics say. the hard and soft skills. Now the next step is, what are you going to do about it? This is your own accountability, personal accountability. What are you going to do about it? If you take this process seriously and you take advantage, or you look at what these opportunities are and these strengths and also the weaknesses, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to find a mentor to help you with this? Are you going to work with a manager, develop a plan? Be specific, because building this plan and building these skills and improving these skills is going to help you make that headline within your own time frame. This is probably the hardest one of the week, because this talks about purpose. When you think about the purpose, is your purpose, and it can change. It does change frequently. But what matters to you right now? If we think about big thoughts for the week, what matters to you right now? I want to make a difference in the world. I want to help my players improve. I want to build a business. I want to own a business. I want to feel passionate about my work. But until we really dig into this one and align our purpose with our career goals and skills and aspirations, we'll continue to have a disconnect. What matters to you right now? There is no right or wrong answer. It does change over time. We had a friend pass away of a heart attack about 3 years ago. We all had our whole town was introspective about making sure we were healthy and changing lifestyles and changing behaviors, and we did, and I did. Took up tennis again. I hadn't played tennis. Joined a club, joined Wheaton Sports Center, I think the next week. Started playing tennis again. Felt that passion for tennis again. Gave up everything that tasted good. Lost 40 pounds. Correlation there. But realized that racket sports was my purpose. It kept me driven. It kept me focused. And here I am. I wouldn't be here without that. This is going to be the hardest one of the week. But take some time. Make it meaningful. Everybody's going to have setbacks along the way. No question. We all do. So when that happens, what's the plan? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to make sure they don't take you off course? Stevie Johnson came to the Florida convention. He said once he adapted the mindset of there's no more losing. It's either winning or learning. It's a mentality. Every day is a win or learn. Every single day. But when you have setbacks, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to change your behavior? Who are you going to get? Are you going to be graceful and patient with yourself? Can you be? Give yourself grace and patience. We're going to talk about your support team in just a second, but that's a perfect chance to activate your support team, because we're going to help you build your support team here. Ask for feedback. Man, feedback is just feedback in a point of time. And if you have the right network around you and you have the right team, that feedback is going to be so, so valuable. So when you have a setback, which you will, what are you going to do about it? Accountability is probably the most important purpose-filled piece to this, because if you're accountable to somebody, it's going to just help you get there. You know, when you run, everybody's training. If you train for a marathon or a half marathon, running with a partner makes that all so much easier, right? We're not going to sleep through that 5 a.m. alarm if I know somebody else is waiting for me. So do you have an accountability partner? I do. An amazing one. Could this be a peer in your network? Could this be a friend? And then the second part is, so who is that? Who's your accountability partner? And then what's your plan? How often will you check in with them? Is it once a week, once a month? I know people that talk to each other on the way to work every morning at 6:30. Guys in our network, guys in your network, they talk every morning at 6:30 on their way to work. Hey, how's it going? How'd you do yesterday? That's your accountability. Find that accountability partner for you. Could be a spouse or a partner. Also could be a peer or another professional. This one's kind of fun. You're a brand. We've already established you're a brand, right? We're going through this rebranding process. Well, you can't do that without a team. think about creating your own brand team. This is a team around you that you'll be accountable for and to in a couple different categories. You don't have to have these exact categories, but these are just some examples. Do you have a mentor? Still, today, I don't care if you're 50, 60, 70 years old. We all still have mentors or need them. Do you have a true advisor, somebody that can actually give you great advice in today's business world for your professional career? Is it your manager? Is it somebody across the street? Is it a peer? But who can you truly count on as an advisor that understands you, gets you, can relate to you? I saw that. I just saw that. Do you truly have a friend? Do you have a best friend in this that can, again, walk by your side? They're going to be different from your advisor and your mentor because they're going to connect with you at a personal level. And then find experts around you. That's our divisions. That's us. That's your peers in your network who are experts at achieving what you want to achieve, helping you achieve because of their expertise, sharing that expertise along with you. And you have to have a critic. You do. We all need critics because that's going to make us better and keep us grounded and humble and hungry. So I'm going to let you guys take a minute, take 2 minutes. You don't have to share this one, but just jot a few of these down if you know them off the top of your head, or leave a blank where you might need to fill in people on your brand team. So take about 2 minutes on that, please. All right, let's come back. We're almost through the questions, and again, this is really, the mission right now is for you to understand these and make a plan to think through this over the next couple days. But this is a really important one. Who in your network, who is going to be your brand team to make sure, hold you accountable, help you succeed, help you align your purpose with where your career goals are? Now we're going to get into really, truly action plans. I'm going to take the following steps. I will be intentional with the following steps to improve my skills in this Rebrand Me process. These are dates and actions. Be accountable to yourself. I will take a course on Excel by November 30th. I will take a public speaking course. I will do public speaking. Tangible skills, but give yourself, I will take this course by this date. How many people journal? Awesome. I highly encourage you to do that. Share your thoughts with yourselves. Time for reflection, time for planning, time for understanding, giving yourself grace, setbacks, wins. And the last one is make sure you celebrate the wins with your brand team, with your own teams. This is hard work. But in this industry where we're feeling alone a lot, we have to have that network around us to help celebrate these wins, because we do have some great wins. So what are we going to do to improve those skills? Be very specific. And then we're going to get even more specific. Now we're going to talk about, because you also need a communication strategy. What is your frequency? What are you going to do? Where are you going to do it? And what's your message? So as you go deeper, okay, how am I going to hit those headlines? How am I going to make sure the Wall Street Journal headlines are showing me what I want to do? Well, bi-weekly, I'm going to post a personal video. And that video is going to be on LinkedIn and Instagram, and I'm going to talk about my expertise in racket sports, in on-court teaching, in padel, in whatever that expertise is. But be specific. Set a calendar reminder. If you don't invest in yourself and don't invest in these new skills and developing these skills, it's going to be hard for you to lead in this industry. And we want to lead the industry. We don't want to follow. We don't want to watch it go by. If anybody knows Jim Baugh, was our GM at Wilson many, many years ago, he would say over and over and over, there's 3 kinds of people. People that watch it happen, people that make it happen, and people that wonder what happened. I have a feeling the doers in this room are the make it happen people. But unless you are specific about what you want to make happen, it's going to be really hard. So again, your accountability. A lot of this comes back to your own accountability. So what are you going to do? How frequently? Where are you going to do it? And what's your message? You can plan this out for 52 weeks. You could plan it out for 26, whatever it is, but make this a commitment. I said earlier on that branding thing, consistency is what's really, really important. Your customers will love this. They will share it with their friends. They will share it with other people, and they're going to then bring more customers to you. This is how you show off your brand, how you become the brand you want to be. And this is where our true network of the association comes in. And this is the spirit we all have, is the giving back spirit. Who can you help along their journey? Who are you going to help through this process as well? Could be your direct reports. Could be mentees that you work with. Could be the next generation leaders, PTMers. You got a room full of people that are here to help you, by the way. Right? Right. Aspiring pros, next generation leaders, that is critical and fundamental to our industry, but it is also, it's so important that we do that because we are the biggest recruiting tool. Tell your story. You all have the same stories I do. That's the beautiful thing. You all have a reason why. You all have a purpose for being here. Your stories are just as good, if not better. Tell your story. Make sure people know why you do this, why you're so passionate about this. So, we've gotten started a little bit. I really would encourage you to think through this, talk about it, share it with your friends, build that branding team, build that accountability partner. I'm going to introduce Ashlyn Webb. Ashlyn, would you stand up, please? Ashlyn. We have a social media expert, a content expert on our marketing team that is here for you. She's going to be available through the conference. She has access through email. She is here to help you as part of this journey of you developing your plans and your rebranding. She is incredible. We had her, we put her on the spot at our XCOM meeting in April. No, she couldn't get out of the room. There was so many questions. There's so much interest in this because, you know, it's foreign to most of us, frankly, right? Because we're not of that age. Yes, we are not of that age. So, Ashlyn, thank you. Find her. She is so enthusiastic about this, and she is so kind to us that don't understand. So, thank you, Ashlyn. We have a social media toolkit in the app, do's and don'ts, ways to get started. We have the opportunity. Where's Fred? Fred, our photographer, of how many years have you done this, Fred? Good question. Thank you, Fred. If everybody knows Fred, Fred is a legend in our industry. We have the opportunity for professional headshots. Because I have looked at all your LinkedIn profiles, let's talk. We have some work to do together. But we're here for that too. Honestly, I probably get 10 or 15 phone calls a week from our members asking for help and guidance and advice on this, and it is one of the favorite things that I get to do. So please reach out. I'm happy to help. We are all happy to help with this. Career services, we have a brand new website. We have it in-house. It's our job board. The job board is actually super active. But if you don't have a profile on it, create a profile. Get your LinkedIn profile up to date, create a profile. And here is your first to-do. I'm mad about this one, by the way. All right, log into your RSPA account. Update your profile on the RSPA account. Do you know that we don't know what gender most of you are because you haven't selected it? Come on. Update your profile. That's the Find a Pro on our website. Again, if we don't know who you are, we can't find you. Please put your phone number and your email address and a professional picture. Your to-do is to update your RSPA profile, please. Please. That is a to-do. TennisResources.com has a ton of videos. You'll see outside we have business cards, we have banners, we have ball card stuff. You also have access to our entire team at headquarters, our entire national board, our entire executive committee. We are all here to be your resources. There's also paid resources outside. University of Florida, Director of Racquet Sports, CRSE. There's books and articles, and there's all kinds of information and resources available to you. But ask us for help. Ask us for more resources. Read more books. Share those books. I was thinking we should start a book club. A book club would be kind of fun. But that would be a great place to share. And as I said in the very beginning, as you guys look at building and rebuilding your brand, and that raises the profile, and somebody gets a new job with better compensation, or somebody changes the working hours and the working structure of our industry, or somebody owns a club, we all win from that. We all benefit from that. We all celebrate in your success, because being part of an association of an industry of leaders and game changers like you are helps lift all of us up. So your success is our success, and our success is the association's win. So I encourage you to take the next few days, dig into this, ask questions, find your brand team, dig into your purpose, what's really meaningful to you now. And the last thing I'll leave you with, this was very intentional as well, is take this personal action plan back and share it with your manager. Share it with the people who cannot believe you are in Hawaii working. See, I had homework and I did it. This is, if you just do this, they're going to go, okay, yeah, I get it. Okay, you should have been in Hawaii. Are there any questions? We're done a little bit early, so we'll get a win there, which means more outside time. Yes, sir. How do we schedule the headshot? Oh, tonight, right before the awards dinner. When you're all dressed in your best, come up and we'll get headshots. Okay. Great. We've got an hour tonight right before the awards dinner. During cocktails. Any other questions, comments, compliments? Just kidding, just kidding. Sorry? Yes, I did. I've looked at every one of your LinkedIn profiles. All right, so I have not been told that we have a weather change, so you have a little time right now. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your commitment. I really appreciate it. Thanks.